I don't doubt that millions of Iranians are mourning him. He is seen for some as a national hero. He is seen as the man who kept ISIS out of Iran and who helped defeat ISIS in a country like Syria and Iraq. He is also mourned by people who are perhaps coming out onto the streets out of fear. What happens to their country next? If he can be targeted, what happens to Iran? Who else could be on the target list? People also come out in a country like Iran out of fear of repercussions if they don't show mourning. We've heard reports of people coming out because they've been forced to, they've been told to close their shops, close their classrooms, put the students on the street. So that's why you see all these crowds out there. We'll have to see whether in the short term and medium term it does unify the country in fear of a potential US strike. But a lot of people are also saying this could be a moment of weakness for the Iranian regime. Don't forget that there have been protests in Iran, also in Iraq, and in Lebanon over the last few months, and a lot of it has been against the power and the influence of Iran in the region and of the repressive state, and that was represented also by Qasem Soleimani inside Iran.
Do you believe that Soleimani's death will be a catalyst for change there, in the sense that is maximum pressure working?
You know, when I look at the arc of history in the region in Black Wave from 1979 up until today, I do get the sense that perhaps something is fizzling out in Iran, that the Iranian revolution, the Islamic revolution, is running out of steam. That's certainly the impression I got when I saw all these protests over the last few weeks, especially when they started in Iran. You know, Iran has been through several waves of protests over the last decade. 2009, 2017, and now 2019, just a few months ago.
Do you think that the Democrats, though, which we were hearing, of course, all of this created a political, shockwave in Washington. We heard a lot of comments on both sides of the aisle, to be fair. They say that his death made the region less safe.
Well, it was already pretty much pretty unsafe over the last few decades, I would say, but especially after 2003 with the US invasion of Iraq. You know, that really opened a Pandora's box, and it gave more power to people like Qasem Soleimani. But going back to the protests, when I saw this three-pronged front that Qasem Soleimani had to deal with. So now he doesn't only have to deal with militias and wars and propping up dictators in Syria and trying to fight the Saudis via proxy in Yemen with attacks against oil installations. He also has to contend with people power in three countries: Lebanon, Lebanon, Iraq, and Iran. I think that was possibly his biggest challenge to date, and I think that we'll have to see now whether people come out back onto the streets or whether they're worried, they're too worried about what America's actions are going to be next.
And quickly before we let you go, Kim, what does this mean for Hezbollah? Are we going to see a more pragmatic Hezbollah as a result of the fact?
Hezbollah is always very pragmatic. Hezbollah is always very pragmatic, and they're in a tough spot now because they're going to want to avenge Qasem Soleimani's death, but at the same time they are a local political party in Lebanon with a large constituency. They don't want to undermine their presence here, their ability to be part of the political game. And we're in a very crucial moment because we're still waiting for a government formation to happen, and they're hoping that they can have really the biggest say in it. So they're going to play their cards very carefully, but I do expect some kind of act to avenge Qasem Soleimani, but probably not in Lebanon. And Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, did say very clearly that whatever happens, whatever the retaliation is, it's going to be in an effort to drive out US forces, and they will not attack US civilians.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.